welcome back to Podcast Soundscape, the show where we talk about stuff. I'm your host, Zach Martin,
And I'm your other host, Fox Lopez.
and today we're going to be talking about something much different than video game. Well, not much different, but different from video games, music. But first, I think we need to kind of pose the question. Last time we asked the question, is meatball and fruit? So, Fox, what is the question for today?
Today's question is, why does it hurt when I pee?
Well, to find that question out, we're going to have to listen to some Sabaton. And today we'll be talking about their first two albums, studio albums, Primo Victoria and Attero Dominatus.
Before we get started, I just want to say I hate you for making me compare these two albums because I really like both of them.
Oh, okay.
It was hard to make a decision. I'm not gonna lie.
I hope. If you see my reviews on my YouTube channel, I talk in depth about both of them. So let's pose the question that there's only one right answer to this one, and if you get it wrong, I'm going to.
Oh God.
This is going to be a very long episode. So what album did you prefer more, Primo Victoria or Attero Dominatus?
We're gonna butcher that name a lot, but
Yeah,
my preferred album is Attero Dominatus.
I hate you so much. How? In a wider universe.
There's more bangers than Attero.
It has three bangers,
Okay.
maybe four.
Okay, what are your... Okay.
That's the worst album.
I love it, it's really good.
That's the worst album. Well, I was really scared that this would happen, but I thought, no, there's no way this could happen. Well, it's happened.
I like both a lot.
Attero's the same thing as Primo Victoria, but not as good.
Okay, I like Attero more. Probably because I've listened to Primo Victoria like 15,000 times.
Yes, but I've heard Primo Victoria 1,000 times, and it's one of my favorite albums of all time. And Attero Dominatus, if you've seen my...
I should have figured you were gonna like Primo more. I should have guessed.
Nice voice crack,
thank
esports.
you. Thank you,
Because it's better. It has some of their best and most underrated tracks. Like, Primo Victoria is not underrated, but it's one of their best, most popular songs. Reign of Terror is a banger. Panzer Battalion is a banger.
Okay, yeah, Panzer is really good.
Is a banger. Counters, every song is a banger, and they actually did more unique things with it here.
Okay, but Attero has Metal Crew A, Rise of Evil, Attero Dominatus,
Yeah, those are the three good songs.
Langa Bara Bang. I can't even pronounce it.
Which one?
Oh, it's like, oh God, I'm gonna butcher this name. Langa.
Oh, that's the cover. Yeah, yeah, that's the cover. That's a really good cover. Younger Bolar. I can't pronounce that either.
I don't care.
They covered it, but like, yeah.
Angels Calling is also really dope.
The re-recorded version is way better. The 2020 version they did is way better. Like, I like it.
I haven't listened to it. I'll listen to it when I get the chance.
I like it a little more, but like, the main reason that I will put is because We Burn and Light in the Black are really, really, really bad.
Eh?
Like, there was no song on Primo Victoria that was like...
Light in the Black, I agree. It was okay. I liked We Burn.
Wait, hold on, wait, is that the one I'm thinking? Oh, no, okay, wait, okay. I got the wrong one. In the Name of God is the one I meant to say.
Okay, yeah, Name of God was okay.
No, because they literally for the chorus just did Primo Victoria again. Like, if you, like, have that melody in your head of Primo Victoria and then listen to that one, you're like, wow, they just did it again, but, like... Okay, Attero Dominatus is a banger. Metal Crew is a banger. Rise of Evil is a... Doesn't need to be as long as it is, but it's still a banger.
Rise! That's one of my notes. It's just Rise in all caps.
And I like it, but it's not as... It's longer than it needs to be, but like...
I think it's the length is just right.
It's something like... yeah, I guess if we're going to listen to it like with one of your first times listening to it, yeah, but like it's something that when you hear more and more... I do think it's definitely one of the better tracks on the album for sure. But
oh, yeah.
I still think it doesn't do as much as it should, but I also... It depends, because once you listen to more of their discography, you kind of realize, like, oh, okay, they've done this song again, but much better, especially on the Carlos Rex album.
Okay, but, I've listened to some of Carlos Rex, but not all of it.
That's another one of my favorite albums of all time. And Sabaton has a lot of my favorite albums of all time, but like,
well, yeah,
Primo Victoria. Primo Victoria, the opening line to Primo Victoria is the greatest album opener in human history. You cannot
It
like
is really good. I do
the
agree. Like I don't hate
okay.
I don't hate either one.
I know, but like let's get into what would make you prefer Attero over Primo Victoria?
You mean the other way around?
No, didn't you say you liked Attero more?
Yeah, but you said what would make you prefer Attero over Primo?
Yeah, I know. What made you prefer it more?
Oh, I'm stupid. I thought you.
Yes, you are.
I heard what would you, as in I already liked Primo more.
Yeah, no, you just
I I really don't. I honestly don't know.
but like I feel like Primo is something that kind of does grow on you a little bit because I mean, but like if you Metal Machine and Metal Crew are like the same song, but I think both of them are amazing. But like if you look
Oh
at
yeah,
the
Metal
opener,
Machine has
Attero
synth abuse.
Attero is a great opener, but like Primo Victoria, the opening line is like the most iconic thing ever.
It is.
Like,
Primo's great.
like, have you seen the memes that have come out of it? Like,
I haven't seen the memes though.
Reign of Terror is like everything on it is amazing. Like Wolf, even though I'll admit some of the songs sound kind of similar on it. Like Into the Fire
Yeah,
sounds like Counter Strike, and
it does.
Purple Heart sounds like Wolfpack. But I feel like
Really?
they,
I didn't hear the
yeah,
similarities. I mean, they're both slower.
yeah, but like that's like one of the three types of Sabaton songs, really. But like, if you look at it, if they just you listen to them. What order did you listen to them in? I feel like I should ask.
Alright, so I just went on Spotify and just shuffled play and let my luck. For Primo Victoria, I got Primo Victoria first.
Okay.
Then March to the War and Dead Man's Waltz back to
Oh,
back.
why did you? You need to listen to the album in order.
Oh, I just shuffled.
That's not how you listen to albums. You need to.
I'm a song
Because
man.
that
Shut up.
that's well, I meant like which order did you listen to the like albums in?
Oh, I did Primo first and Attero second.
Okay, that's the order you're meant. But like, if you listen to it, and you realize the Terror is just like Primo Victoria, but done not as good.
But Attero is really good. And so is Primo.
But like,
They're similar, yes,
yeah,
but
but like if you look at it, it's just like okay. So if we get into the track by track, Attero is a great opener. Attero Dominatus is a great opener, but the Nuclear Attack is fine. But like, I'm not sure if you noticed this. The mid section didn't sound like the tracks were aligned. Like, did you notice that for Nuclear Attack? Do you remember?
oh what? Where were you?
Nuclear Attack.
Like what about
Like
Nuclear
the
Attack?
like the mid section. Did you notice that the tracks didn't sound aligned? Like it sounded like the drums were off. Am I the only one who notices that?
I think you're the only one who notices that, because I thought it was fine.
That's what kind of killed that song for me. But like Rise of Evil, good doesn't need to be a song. In the Name of God is just trying to capitalize off of Primo Victoria and what that album did, or the song did. Like the chorus is the exact same in both songs. We Burn is,
I liked it.
I forget about it every time. Like for Attero, every time I was like listening to it, I kept checking like see what song is it this time because I kept forgetting.
It has
Angels
cool chords
Calling-
in the intro.
Yeah, I do like the intro to We Burn. I think it starts off with a lot of promise, but just kind of feels like, hold on, wait, what are the songs again? Either Counter Strike or
What's Counter Strike?
Counter Strike or Into the Fire. I also think the I like the lyrical theme more of Primo Victoria.
I haven't analyzed any of these lyrics.
Well, I mean, I've been listening to Sabaton for like 5 years, and
I
well,
don't think I've even gone to a year yet.
but
Depends when the live concert was. That was 2019,
yeah,
but I don't know if it's past the year mark yet.
October 4th, 2019.
Okay, so it hasn't been a year yet.
Yeah, we've both seen, for all our listeners out there, we've both seen Sabaton live, which was the greatest experience of our life.
Oh yeah, it was such a great show.
That sounded kind of sarcastic for my part.
It sounded like it was such a great show.
Great show. I loved all of it. They were not in my house making me
metal.
say this. It was they're in the top 3 bands I've seen live easily. It was them and Hammerfall.
I mean, I haven't.
Hammerfall was amazing. But
Not
yeah,
seen-
but I mean like they didn't play anything from Attero. They at least played Primo Victoria.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was dope.
Yeah, but I feel like if you look at like their first debut album that they came onto the scene with, like, and they just come on with that, and then they follow up with Attero's, like, I feel like even though it has like less tracks as an overall album,
Wait, really?
Attero has 9 tracks. Attero has 9 tracks. Primo Victoria has 11.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
on Spotify some are
Yeah, some
live
because
and
yeah, no,
demos and
because yeah, the
stuff.
only way to find them is the rearmed version, which they did for the first four albums.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but Attero is shorter, less tracks, but it feels a lot longer because of the pacing if you listen to it in order, and also it kind of feels longer and then it just feels shorter because like you're all of a sudden like, oh, all of a sudden it's Metal Crew again, and it's felt like it's been like it's one of those experiences that feels like it's been like excuse me, it's one of those experiences where it feels like it's been like an hour but also 5 minutes, like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, those experiences suck.
That's what Attero pretty much felt like for me, but like
I just
I
had a
realized
blast.
really off on a tangent with the track by track. When we were talking about We Burn Angels Calling, like they did it. I like it more than I used to. My notes here are kind of dated because I like Primo Victoria more and I like Attero a little more than I did before because some of the songs have grown on me
Yeah.
more. But I still don't think like I still think Primo is better by a long shot and a half.
I do not think it's better by a long shot.
But like you'd be willing to at least say that it's better from a certain point of view.
What do you mean better than a certain point of view?
It is. I feel like we
It
just need
is
to
what it is.
that exactly. It is what it is. But like Primo Victoria, it's like flawless. That's the thing.
It, This is a hard one for
Mm.
me. I'm sure.
It
I don't know why.
it's not a hard one for me because I've listened to these albums at least a million times. I
Yeah.
think I've listened to Great War the most, like out of any other album. It was like because last summer I listened to like literally like Carlos Rex, Last Stand, Great War, and Prima Victoria literally like once every single day each. So
Jesus
yeah, like
Christ.
after a Great War, before and after Great War, I was in a massive Sabaton phase where I listened to literally nothing but them. But like, we need to choose one to move on. But before we do, I feel like we should go into the intermission for this heated debate.
Already?
Yes, this episode is going to be very long, especially compared to the 40-minute Persona one, because that was talking about like a 90-hour video game, and this is talking about two 40-minute albums.
Okay, fair enough.
Now, let's get into that intermission. Insert intermission music here.
Let's wait a bit because I had a problem with editing. I had to like add more silence to the audio
Oh,
track.
okay.
So let's just wait. In silence. Let's meditate.
Add this part into the podcast. Alrighty then, intermission time.
Wait, which one's the intermission time?
No, intermission. It's just now it's the intermission.
Oh, we're in between. Okay.
So I feel like we need to kind of set the mood for what the next episode is going to be, which will be debuting in 2 to 3 days from now. So Flaming Fantasy.
Flaming Fantasy is what happens when a middle schooler discovers crack for the first time.
I'm gonna be basically interviewing Fox, and we'll get a few people from the cast that
And by a few
Would you-
people, oh god.
what would you call? Would you call it a mini series? Sort of a movie split into different parts. What would you call a Flaming Fantasy?
Well, first of all, I need to check how long the entire series is. So,
How
Jamie,
many
can you
parts were
look?
there?
Jamie, can you look that up?
Flaming Fantasy YouTube. No one should ever have to look that up, much less be a part of it. Like, I feel bad, but I also don't feel bad. Because this was
Okay,
your
so-
conscious choice
It was my conscious choice.
to make that. And it's
Okay, it's
abomination.
over. It's 7 parts, and it totals to over an hour, so I'm pretty sure that's a movie.
I would consider that more a little like mini series. Like,
Alright,
you
yeah,
know.
it's a mini-series that I canceled because I didn't want to continue it.
I mean, so obviously let's not get into too many questions, too many spoilers, because we need to have an episode's worth of content. But are you looking forward to revisiting this series at all?
No.
Because I can tell you I am. This is good.
I wish I could go back in time and just burn the script. I actually had to... I remember vividly preparing for the first episode. I remember, like, in between classes, I would write the script on pieces of loose-leaf paper.
Oh, this interview is gonna be amazing next episode. I
There's
cannot
more.
wait for that.
I have more stories of Ollie that loose leaf of paper that I'm gonna save for then.
Oh, that's gonna be fun to revisit. But as I said, we need an episode's worth of content. So let's cool the flaming fantasy talk and end this intermission and get right back into our album talk. So, Jamie, insert outro dialogue. Wait, outro interlog music. Intermission. I can speak good English. I said no singing.
That wasn't singing. That was really
The
bad.
one rule I had.
That was really
made
bad
noises.
humming.
No musical noises of any sound except.
Alright, let me get my kazoo.
Oh, I was about to get my harmonica. There it is.
Where is the kazoo? I found my-
Primo Victoria on harmonica. What is this episode turned into? That doesn't sound right. That sounds like a duck.
It's a giant kazoo.
Comically large kazoo, you say? When your friend asks for a spoonful of ice cream and then takes out a comically large spoon.
Here's Attero Dominatus on slide whistle.
You cut out, and all I hear was. This is all still a part of the intermission. My God,
Yes,
the
alright.
chaos that we are creating right now. We really need to get back. This is the chaos that we were promised when we made this.
Oh yeah?
All right, insert outro intermission music here.
For real this
A
time.
moment of silence. And back into the fray. that wasn't planned. I legit just did that. So back to the discussion where Fox over here prefers Attero Dominatus and I prefer Primo Victoria, but only one album can move on to the next ring because we kind of have it like
How do we decide which album moves on?
Well, me personally, I believe that my opinion is more valid.
Well, then all the viewers are just gonna get to move on unless we match.
Exactly.
Honestly,
well,
I really don't. I'm fine with either one moving on. Both are great.
Yes, I think God, it's so weird looking at my like Attero Dominatus notes, and it's literally like half a page, and then my modern day notes are like 2 pages long.
Yeah, you get better with
Like-
time.
Like legit, my notes for this one, which are like a year old, is like each one is literally like a sentence, and now I have legit a paragraph written for each song on the track by track.
Jesus Christ.
But I feel like if we analyze the track by track of Terror, now we look at Primo Victoria, the track of that, they did a lot more unique things with it. Like obviously, and anything really is unique on it. This album, since it was their first album that the world heard. Technically, if you want to count Fist for Fight or Metalizer, but we're not going to talk about Fist for Fight. And Metalizer was released third, so we're going to talk about Metalizer in our next episode. What the hell does that sound?
What sound?
There's a weird sound in my room right now, and it made me really uncomfortable.
It's not picking up
Oh,
on
I
my
think-
end.
Because it's like my hair moving in my headphones, I think. Oh, that's uncomfortable. But if we also look at the lyrical theme, they also covered a lot more, like, wider, even touching into Reign of Terror and Panzer Battalion are both in terms of modern day wars. And Primo Victoria is about, obviously, D-Day. But Reign of Terror and Panzer Battalion, I didn't know. I thought they were also about World War II. They're also they're about war in Iraq, which is interesting. I didn't know that.
I didn't. And it's very epic, interesting.
And I also think Primo Victoria has their most underrated track, which is Shotgun.
I like Shotgun. Shotgun's cool.
I know, it's like,
I like the
it's,
laugh.
in my opinion,
Like after
Yeah,
they say,
yeah.
"I'll look at the shot."
yeah.
I'm-
I agree. I think it added a lot. In my opinion, it's the most underrated song. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've never heard
I
a
was-
lot of people talk about Shotgun.
And I can't find any live clips of it either.
It's a shame.
Which, yeah, it's such a great song. And if we also look at it, like, I feel like also like the slower songs, they did better on Primo Victoria because they only had one. Well, they had two, but we both agreed that Light in the Black was really bad. And
Yeah, but I.
Reign of Terror, or not Ranger, Rise of Evil is really good, but I feel like Pack is better. But Purple Heart
Wait, what
from
do
the
you think is
lyricals. Wait, Wolfpack.
I
did I say
disagree
that?
with you. I think Rise of Evil is better than Wolfpack.
I can see it, but you gotta admit, Wolfpack is an amazing song.
It's good. I like Rise of Evil more.
The only reason I would say I prefer Wolfpack is because like that one kind of after the solo section where it's just all their voices like on like the chorus part in the lyrics.
Oh
That's
yeah,
because
I take the army
that
vibe.
part like that still gives me chills to this day. Like listening to that, just like well, we'll get more in their album talk. There's another song that still does that to me, but that like still gives me chills to this day.
Chills.
And I feel like Purple Heart is like probably if we're talking in terms of the three slower songs the weakest, but lyrical wise it's the best easily. Lyrical and vocal wise it's the best, I think.
I like the change of pace Purple Heart gives to the Primo Victoria album.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Because technically that's like the closer, like obviously unless you want to count Metal Machine, because I believe March to War and Shotgun were added from the Rearmed re-releases. So I feel like if that's like the real closer, then I feel like that is a really good album closer. Not as good as I would say Metal Crew is like probably like one of the best closers.
Okay, just for the scream at the beginning, I love that scream.
Yes, that's like it's in the lyrics too. If you look at it, like referencing multiple bands, like every like line references like two bands or something, which I really like because I get all those bands and I listen to all of them because I listen to nothing but power metal. Because my life is a mess.
The only band reference I got, which is probably kind of basic, was the Breaking the Law reference in Metal Machine.
Metal Machine, yeah. There's I'm trying to think of the chorus because it's close to midnight, which is I think an Iron Maiden reference. 2 minutes to midnight. Barking at the moon. Ozzy Osbourne. They mention a lot in Metal. What did you like more, Metal Machine or Metal Crew?
Metal Crew.
Metal Crew easily. Although I love the part in Metal Machine where it just that one voice yells, "Come suck my Metal Machine." That's actually all I have in my notes for Metal Machine. It's just all caps, "Come suck my Metal Machine." They have a shirt. They have a shirt for that too. It's like Primo Victoria says "Metal," and on the back it just says "Come suck my Metal Machine."
Nice. I like this. I think I said this already, but I like the synth abuse.
You didn't say that yet. Yeah, I think it's cool. It's something that they don't do modern days because after Coat of Arms, they stopped having a dedicated keyboard player. So anything from Primo to Coat of Arms, you're going to hear it a lot, especially on the opening track of Coat of Arms, really. But like,
that's a shame.
Actually, you hear it a lot on Coat of Arms in general.
I think keyboard adds a lot to metal.
Yeah, they do it in the studio. Like they did it with the Red Baron, and it sucks that we saw. It sucks that we saw Sabaton in America because if you've seen some of their like European concerts, they literally have like an airplane build of the Red Baron's plane, but it has a keyboard inside of it, so they can play the keyboard intro.
That's dope.
Dude, did you see the clip of Night Witches I posted about it actually, where he walked on stage with a rocket launcher?
What?
Dude,
I did not see that.
Their live shows in Europe are absolutely insane.
I mean, you can't bring a rocket launcher from Europe to America, so that makes sense.
They finally got to bring the tank. That show we saw them was like the first time they'd actually been able to bring the tank over.
I'm surprised they got a tank past customs.
I think Arnold Schwarzenegger can legally own a tank, and I would argue that Sabaton is better.
Arnold Schwarzenegger should cooperate or do a collab with Sabaton.
I think he does actually own a tank, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That wouldn't surprise me. That would surprise me.
Does Arnold?
Hey Jamie, can you look that up?
Oh right, my computer has no Wi-Fi right now. I'll just Google it on my phone. I was like, why isn't my computer working? Does Arnold Schwarzenegger? Okay, one of the top questions is have caffeine.
Does he have caffeine?
Arnold Schwarzenegger owns his own tank. It's a tank that does have personal meaning to him, and he uses it for an altruistic purpose. The tank in question is an M47 patent produced.
What's the altruistic purpose?
I don't know. It's from the 50s.
Oh, that's cool.
So he owns a tank.
He owns a tank. Nice.
He paid $20,000 to ship it to the U.S. Wow.
Does he drive it?
Yeah.
Does he drive it when he's going to the grocery store?
That would be pretty based.
Mance just shows up to Walmart with a tank.
Yes, that would be pretty based, man. I don't know about you. I think that would be pretty based.
Based on what?
Based on what? Based on Sabaton, because that's what this discussion is about.
All right, but
so
what else do we have to say about these albums?
That Primo Victoria is an absolute masterpiece and one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I feel like Sabaton for me is a band that alternates between, with the exception of one, alternates between having a really good album and then a meh album. Like, I feel like every single one of these brackets, I feel like we're going to disagree on all of them.
I have a feeling you're just gonna send me like your like best out of the like a really good album than this meh album, and
And you're going to like the meh. Okay, the next albums we're doing are Metalizer and Art of War, and I'm just gonna say there's no way that we're gonna disagree on that, because if we do, we're canceling the podcast. If we disagree on which one we like more, say Metalizer and Art of War, I am canceling this podcast. I'm just saying there's
Are you actually
no
serious?
way.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. There is not a single way that we can disagree on that, and it's not that one of the albums is like, it's not like I'm gonna stop, because we always make sure that for this particular section we don't tell each other our thoughts until we get to this. So
okay. That now that makes me really worried. Like I'm gonna choose the wrong one or something.
if you do, you will be shunned. I will cancel this podcast. But now we have to choose.
I mean, I do have some really unpopular opinions, so.
Yeah, I mean, you're British. So
I actually don't. If I get the quote unquote wrong album, don't cancel the show, please.
Then don't choose the wrong album, Fox.
It's a 50-50 chance, Zach.
But okay, you wanna know? One of them has Ghost Division, okay?
Okay.
Art of War has Ghost Division. That automatically just.
Okay, Ghost Division is a great song.
That's what they played. What did they play from Art of War when we saw them live? I think they played. Okay, Art of War they played nothing from Metalizer, but they opened with Ghost Division like they always do. Played Price of a Mile and Swedish Pagans.
Okay, that's a strong 3.
Yes, that is a very strong 3, and
okay, that's hard to beat.
No way that you have to disagree on that.
That's actually very hard to beat.
Alright, so
we'll see.
Even though I will say Metalizer does have my favorite Sabaton song of all time.
Oh god.
But alright, so let's just choose what album is going to move on to verse the winner of Art of War and Metalizer. I think without a doubt it goes to Primo Victoria, but what are your thoughts?
I think the one I can't pronounce, Attero Dominatus. But well, I'm fine. I'm fine with Primo moving on. I like both a lot.
I feel like if we don't just stick with that, we're going to be here all day, and there's going to be an hour and a half long episode, and we can't do that to the good people because that's longer than most Sabaton albums put together. But I think we have come to a decision that Primo Victoria will move on in the bracket.
All right, cool. Epic.
You're supposed to say something. I put that sound so you'd be like, all right, and I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So after listening to both Sabaton's first albums, do you know why it hurts when you pee now?
Oh yeah, I know why it hurts when I pee. I have a kidney stone.
It had nothing to do with Sabaton. I just have a kidney stone.
No.
I need to go to the hospital immediately.
Sabaton made me remember my kidney stone.
Which song in particular made you remember it?
Metal Crew, because the scream is the sound I make when I pee.
I was hoping you would say something from Primo. I'd be like, oh, that's why you like Attero Dominatus more. It doesn't remind you of your kidney stone. It doesn't remind you of your increasingly short lifespan. But anyways, that's our very kind of differing thoughts on.
This was a more chaotic episode.
Yes, this was a lot more chaotic episode because we agreed on like everything in Persona 5 and we didn't agree as
Man's
much
talking
here.
about Persona 5.
Yes! Talking about Attero Dominatus versus Primo Victoria. Insert Metal Crew scream here. It's just like the scream that MC Rai does on Guillotine. That's just how it feels.
Zuko.
Zuko. Death Grips is the next band we're talking about season 2. But yeah, anyways, if you listened to this podcast and got this far, thank you. It means a lot to us because we have nothing better to do with our time.
Quarantine sucks.
It does majorly suck. But yeah, thank you all so much for listening. If you got this far, I was about to say be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because that's how I end my YouTube videos.
I mean, this is going up on YouTube just so we can put it on Spotify.
Yeah, so if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to me, not him. Unsubscribe from this man.
Bet.
Or you just go back and watch Flaming Fantasy, and yeah. That's what episode...
That's for episode 3.
You go first.
That is for episode
3. That's what I was going to say. For the next episode 3 of Flaming Fantasy, we will...
Episode 3 of Flaming Fantasy?
Wait, episode 3, Flaming Fantasy. I will be interviewing Fox here about why he decided to do this, what went wrong in his life, what his mind was thinking, just pretty much, just asking the age-old question, why did you make this? What is wrong with you?
Lots of things. I have a kidney stone, that's one thing.
Did you have a kidney stone back then? How old were you? Well, okay, I won't ask any questions about it. We need questions for an interview.
We need content.
Yeah, I need to write down questions for it. Don't write down any answers. I won't tell them to you because we need the raw reaction. In the words of Gordon Ramsay, it's raw.
All right.
No, it's a lot more like it's raw. Imagine Gordon Ramsay, but he's just like really calm and zen, but he still says the same thing.
Imagine Gordon Ramsay but American.
No, he's just like, what are you? An idiot sandwich. Or like, okay, if you think about it, there's something we just really quick need to pose to the audience.
What?
Guy Fieri and Gordon Ramsay are polar opposites, and you could not prove me wrong on this.
This one from Sabaton to Food Network superstars.
But I'm just saying, Gordon Ramsay is Scottish, Guy Fieri is American. Gordon Ramsay is tall and skinny. Guy Fieri, he a little
He's
short.
dummy thick.
He a little thick. Gordon Ramsay goes to failing restaurants and criticizes everything and screams at them. Guy Fieri goes to successful local restaurants and enjoys everything he eats. So I feel like we've just discovered that that's the end of this podcast because we need to stop it before it just goes into 15 minutes of our random thoughts. So thank you for watching. Insert outro music here.